Welcome to my channel. Have you ever dreamed of speaking English, but felt too shy, too slow, or just not good enough? Well, I have something for you. A story. My story. A journey from zero to confidence. I was just like you. I was afraid to speak, but then one day everything changed. This video will show you how I went from a nervous beginner to someone who speaks works and even teaches English in London. Do you also want to go to London one day, or maybe speak English better? Comment below if that's your dream too. Now let's begin. Chapter 1, The Train. It is a warm summer morning. I sit quietly on a train with my small bag. I feel a little nervous because today I am traveling to a new city. I am going there to study English. I don't speak it well, yet I'm just a beginner. But deep inside, I carry a big dream. I want to speak English fluently one day. I look around the train. Across from me, two ladies are sitting and chatting. I don't know them, but I listen closely to their voices. They are speaking in English. I only understand a few small words, not everything. Still, I try to follow the rhythm of their sentences. This is real English, spoken by real people right in front of me, and something inside me stirs. I want to speak too. I want to try, but then fear appears. What if I say something wrong? What if they don't understand me? What if I sound silly? My heart beats fast. But another voice inside me says, "This is your moment. You have to try." I take a deep breath. I smile and say, "Hello, you speak English." The ladies pause and look at me. Then they smile too. "Yes, we do," one of them replies kindly. I feel a wave of relief. I try again. I learn English. I am a beginner. I say slowly and clearly. They nod and listen with patience. They speak slowly, choosing simple words to help me understand. We start a small conversation. I tell them where I come from and that I want to go to London to study English. I speak slowly. My sentences are short. My vocabulary is small, but I speak with my heart, and they understand. For about 10 minutes, we talk. It's not long, but to me it feels amazing. This is my first real conversation in English. The ladies tell me they are from England and that they are returning home after a conference. They are so kind. They don't laugh at my mistakes. They listen, they smile, and they encourage me. When the train slows and my stop arrives, I say, "Thank you. Thank you for talking with me." One of the women gives me a small paper. She writes down her phone number and says, "If you ever come to England, call us." I hold the paper in my hand as I step off the train. The door closes behind me. The train moves on. I stand on the platform, holding the paper tightly. My hands are shaking. I feel like crying, not because I'm sad, but because I'm full of hope. I just spoke English with real people. I was afraid, but I did it. When I get home that evening, I open my notebook and start writing. I write everything I said and everything they said. I try to remember all the words and look up the ones I don't know. I feel so excited. That day changes everything for me. I make a decision I will practice English every day. I will read books, translate songs, watch movies, and speak as much as I can. I will make English a part of my life. The days go by. I study at night. I talk to myself in English. I read out loud. I make many mistakes, but I never stop. And whenever I feel tired, I remember the two ladies, their kind smiles, and their warm voices. 6 months later, I realize something I can understand more. I can speak more. I even watch short movies in English and understand the stories. I feel stronger. I feel ready. So, I make a big decision. I will go to London. I search online and find an English school that looks great. I send them an email, and they reply, yes, I can join their course. I book my ticket. I pack my bag. I say goodbye to my family. My mother hugs me and says, be brave. My father smiles and says, we are proud of you. My heart beats fast. I feel scared but also excited. This is the beginning of something new, something beautiful. I'm not perfect in English yet, but I have a dream. I have the will. And now, I have a plan. I'm going to London, and my journey starts now. Chapter 2. The Decision. It is early morning. I sit quietly at my small wooden desk, holding a warm cup of tea between my hands. My notebook lies open in front of me. Inside pages are filled with English words. Some are simple, others are complex. I speak them out loud, slowly and softly, my voice still shy but determined. This has become my routine. Every day I read short texts in English. I watch English movies with subtitles and listen to songs trying to catch the meaning behind the lyrics. I have a small dictionary by my side. I use it often checking words I don't understand. Sometimes I get everything. Sometimes I feel lost, but I keep going. I don't give up. I know I'm still a beginner, but something inside me tells me that I am growing. My English is improving. I can feel it. The words are not just ink on a page anymore. They are starting to come alive inside me. This gives me joy, but also it makes me want more. After 6 months of studying at home, I begin to feel a deep urge. I want to learn faster. I want to speak more. I want to live the language. I remember the day on the train. I think about the two kind ladies who spoke to me. I still have the small note with their phone number. I often look at it. They said I could visit them one day. I ask myself, should I go? Should I take this next step? My heart says yes. My mind is afraid. I close my eyes and imagine life in London. I see myself walking through busy streets, going to English school, chatting with classmates, working part-time in a cafe, laughing with strangers. It seems like a dream, too far away, too big. But deep down, I know dreams only grow if we dare to chase them. I make a choice. I will go to London. I don't want to only learn English from books or screens anymore. I want to learn from people, from conversations, from life itself. So I begin to prepare. I search for English schools in London. I visit websites, read reviews, look at photos of classrooms. I do not understand every word on the pages, but I try. I do my best. Finally, I find one school that looks simple, friendly, and welcoming. They offer beginner classes. It seems perfect for someone like me. I sit down to write them an email. It takes me nearly an hour to finish it. I check every sentence again and again. I write, can I join your class? The next day, I receive their reply. Yes, you are welcome. My heart skips. I feel a mix of fear and joy. I rush to tell my family. They are surprised. My mother looks into my eyes and asks, are you really sure? I nod and answer, yes, I want to speak English. I want to go. My father stays quiet for a moment. Then he smiles gently. This is your dream. Follow it. I buy my plane ticket. I book a small room in a student hostel. I pack my bag with care, just a few clothes, my notebook, and my small dictionary. The night before my flight, I cannot sleep. My heart races. So many questions run through my head. What if I don't understand anyone? What if I get lost? What if I miss my home too much? But then I whisper to myself, this is your time. You worked for this. You are ready. Trust yourself. Morning comes. I take a taxi to the airport. On the plane, I sit by the window. As the plane lifts off, I look out and watch my city grow smaller and smaller. I feel a quiet goodbye rise in my chest. I am leaving my old life behind. Something new is waiting for me. When I arrive in London, everything feels different. The cold air, the fast voices, the unfamiliar signs. People speak quickly. I try to listen. I don't understand everything. There are so many accents. I feel small and lost, but I keep smiling. I walk to the hostel with my bag. At the front desk, a kind woman greets me. Welcome. I answer, thank you. That simple word feels so big. It means I am really here. In the evening, I go for a short walk. The city glows under the streetlights. Buses pass. People laugh. Shops stay open. English fills the air. It's all beautiful, and yes, a little scary. I remind myself, this is not a vacation. This is your new life. Chapter 3, the first lesson. It is my second morning in London. I wake up early. The room is quiet and small, but outside the city is already alive. I hear cars, people buses, distant footsteps. I sit on the bed and take a deep breath. Today is important. Today is my first full lesson. I feel many things at once: excitement, nervousness, fear. I wonder, what will the teacher be like? Will I understand anything? Will I be able to speak? I look at my face in the mirror. You can do this, I whisper. I get dressed. I wear my cleanest shirt. I grab my notebook and dictionary and walk to school. The air is cold but fresh. I take slow steps. I look around. I read the shop signs, the street names, the bus advertisements. Everything is in English. I try to sound the words out in my head. When I arrive, I see other students waiting. Some are chatting. Some are looking at their phones. Others look like me, quiet and a little unsure. We exchange soft smiles. It feels good to know I am not alone. Our teacher arrives. She is young, friendly, and confident. She smiles brightly. Good morning. Let's go inside. We follow her to the classroom. It is simple, just chairs, a whiteboard, and a small clock on the wall. No big desks, no heavy books, just us. She stands at the front and says, "Welcome. This is your class. This is your journey." She asks us to say our names and countries. Some students speak fast. Others speak slowly. Some are confident. Others are shy. But everyone tries. When my turn comes, I say, "My name is Ariel. I am from Spain." My voice is soft, but I speak clearly. My hands shake a little, but inside I feel proud. Then the teacher says something surprising. Today we begin something different. No textbooks. No long grammar lessons. We will speak. We will listen. We will learn English by using it. I raise my eyebrows. No grammar books, no tests, just communication. It feels new, and it feels right, she continues. Many students study English for years but cannot speak. Why? Because they learn about English not with English. Here we change that. She asks, "How did you study English before?" One student says, "I learned grammar rules." Another says, "I memorized word lists." I say, "I translated songs. I watched movies. I wrote new words in a notebook." She nods and smiles. That's a good start. But now we go deeper. Now we live the language. Then she says something powerful. When you were a baby, you learned your first language without reading books. You listened. You spoke. You made mistakes. And you learned. We will do the same. Her words feel warm. I feel something open inside me. Maybe learning English doesn't have to be painful. Maybe it can be real. Maybe it can be human. She gives us a task. Talk to your partner about your hobbies. What do you do in your free time? I turn to the student next to me. He is from Turkey. We both smile nervously. I say, I like music. I like football. I like learning English. He says, I like books. I like cooking. We take turns. We help each other with words. We laugh at our small mistakes, but we keep going. This is not studying English. This is using English. The class is full of movement and sound. We speak in pairs then with the teacher. We listen to stories. We repeat phrases. There is no silence, only learning. I forget many words. I say things wrong, but no one laughs. The teacher gently helps. I learn new expressions. I start to feel the rhythm of the language. 1 hour passes. I look at the clock. I can't believe it. I have spoken English for a full hour. It has never happened before. I feel light. I feel proud. After class, I walk back to the hostel. I hear voices all around me, English voices. This time I am not scared. I want to listen. I want to join. Back in my room, I open my notebook. I write, today was my first full lesson. I spoke. I made mistakes. I learned. This way of learning is real. It works. I see the small paper with the phone number from the train. I smile and think, because of them I am here. And softly I whisper, thank you. Chapter 4. How to Learn Words. The next morning I wake up before my alarm. There's a quiet happiness in me, something I didn't feel before. Yesterday I spoke English for a whole hour. I made mistakes, yes, but I also made progress. Real progress. I want to do more. I want to speak better to understand more. Today is Tuesday. I get ready and walk to school again. The air in London feels fresh and cool. I see people walking, talking, laughing. I hear English on every street. Some words are new to me. I try to guess their meanings. It's not always easy, but it's interesting. I think to myself, how can I learn more words? I want to improve, but I need more words. At school, I sit down and open my notebook. I write a question to myself, how to learn more words. Then the teacher comes in and asks, does anyone have a question today? A student from Brazil raises her hand. I want to know. She says, what is the best way to learn new words? I feel excited. That's my question too. The teacher nods and smiles. That is a great question, she says. Many students ask this, and there is a simple answer. She walks to the board and writes in big letters, reading. Then she turns to us and says, the best way to learn new words is to read. Read every day. Read things you enjoy. Read things you understand. Read stories. Read simple books. Read them again and again. She explains further. When you read, you see the same words many times. Your brain remembers them better. You learn not only the word, but how to use the word. You see it in a sentence. You understand how it connects with other words. That is better than learning from a word list. A list is cold. A story is warm. In a story, the words come alive. Her words make me think about the songs I've translated before. I remember some English lines easily, not because I studied them, but because I enjoyed them. Now I understand. When we love what we read or hear, the words stay longer in our minds. The teacher gives more advice. Choose texts that are right for your level, she says. If you don't understand many words, it's too hard. If you understand everything, it's too easy. You should understand about 90% of the words. That's the best. Then she says something that surprises me. When you see a new word, look it up in the dictionary. But don't stop reading. You don't need to memorize it. Just understand it and keep going. The word will return. You'll see it again, and one day it will be yours. I've always believed I had to write every new word down, memorize it, repeat it many times. But now I'm told to relax. Just read. That feels natural, simple. I write in my notebook, read 30 minutes every day. Don't worry, just enjoy. After class, I talk to a student from Japan. He tells me about a small book called The Secret Garden. He says it's easy and beautiful. After school, I walk to a nearby bookshop. I ask, "Do you have The Secret Garden in easy English?" The lady smiles. "Yes," she says, "right here." I buy the book. That evening, I read the first chapter. It's slow. I don't understand every word, but I like the story. I understand most of it. I look up a few words. I don't write them down. I just read. Later that night, I go for a walk. I think about the day, about the book, about all the words I saw in just one chapter. I whisper some of them as I walk. Some stay, some don't. But I'm not afraid. I remember what the teacher said. Words return. That thought calms me. The next morning at school, the teacher talks about working in London. She says many students find part-time jobs. I feel excited. I want to work. I want to meet people. I want to use English in real life. I ask around. One student tells me, go to the job center. They help students. After school, I walk there and talk to a lady at the desk. I say, I am looking for a job. I am a student. She smiles. Do you want to clean or work in a cafe? I say I never worked before, but I want to learn. She looks at me kindly and says, your English is good. You can try the cafe. You will start Thursday. I walk out holding a paper with my first job information. My first real job in English. My heart is full. I look up at the sky and smile. I whisper, thank you. Chapter 5. Starting work. Thursday comes quickly. I wake up early. My hands are a little cold. My heart beats fast. Today is my first day at work. This is not school. This is not a book. This is real. I look in the mirror. I wear a clean shirt. I try to smile. I say to myself, good morning. How can I help you? I repeat the sentence again and again. I know I will need it. I put my notebook and my small dictionary in my bag. I walk to the cafe. People pass by me. Some talk fast. Some walk fast. I feel small. I feel slow. But I keep walking. I say to myself, you are learning. You are trying. That is enough. At the cafe, a young woman stands behind the counter. She smiles. Hi, are you Ariel? I say. Yes. Great, she says. I'm Emma. I'll train you today. Her voice is kind. She speaks slowly. I feel a bit better. She shows me around the coffee machine, the cups, the food, the cleaning, the register. I try to follow. I listen. I nod. But some words are new. I feel lost sometimes. I say, okay, I try. Emma watches me make coffee. I press the wrong button. Milk spills. Sorry, I say. She laughs. It's okay. You're learning. I clean it and try again. This time it works. She says, see, you got it. A customer walks in. Emma says, go ahead. Say hello. I walk to the counter. I say, good morning. What do you like? The man smiles. 1 black coffee, please. I repeat, 1 black coffee. I make it. I give it to him. Thank you, he says. You are welcome, I reply. It's a small moment, only a few words, but it feels big. I spoke to a real customer in English. I helped someone. I feel strong. After a few hours, I'm tired. My feet hurt. My head is full of new words. But I don't stop. I keep going. Emma helps me. She corrects me gently. I listen. I learn. I speak with my hands, my face, my heart. I make mistakes. Every mistake is a lesson. At the end of the shift, Emma says, "Good job today. You're doing well." I smile. "Thank you so much." I walk home slowly. My body is tired, but my heart is happy. I did something new. I worked in English. That night, I write in my notebook. Today, I worked in a cafe. I made coffee. I spoke to customers. I made mistakes, but I learned. I am not afraid. Out the window, the lights of London shine. I feel like I belong. I am not just a student. I am a worker, a learner, a speaker. The next morning at school, the teacher asks, "How was your first job?" I smile. "It was good. I speak English at work." She nods. That's the best classroom real life. In class, another student raises her hand. When I speak English, I feel nervous. I don't know if I say things right. I understand her. I feel the same sometimes. But now I also feel something new, courage. The teacher says, "You don't need to be perfect. You need to speak. Practice makes you better." I agree. At the cafe, I saw it. I made mistakes, but I spoke, and I improved. I want to tell the student, don't be afraid. Just speak. Even small words can open big doors. After school, I return to the cafe. It's my second shift. This time, I feel ready. I know the menu. I know how to smile. I say anything else and enjoy your drink. I speak slowly, but with confidence. One customer asks, "Where are you from?" I say I'm from Spain. I learn English here. He smiles. "Your English is good." I say, "Thank you very much." My smile is real. I feel proud. When the day ends, I think, this job is not just for money. It is for my English. Every customer is my practice. Every sentence is my lesson. That night, I write in my notebook. Learning English is not only in school, it is everywhere. It is in every hello, every thank you, every smile. I close the notebook and go to bed. I dream of coffee cups, kind people, and simple English words. I feel lucky. I feel alive. Chapter 6, Pronunciation Problems. It's Wednesday morning, and I walk to school with a happy heart. I feel proud of myself because I've been working at the cafe and using English with real people. That feels amazing. But deep down, there's still something that makes me feel a little small. I know more words now. I understand more than before. I can even have short conversations with customers. But when I hear myself speak, something feels off. My voice sounds different. My English doesn't sound like the voices I hear in movies or on the radio. My words don't come out clearly. Sometimes people ask me to repeat, and when I hear myself talk, I feel embarrassed. I think maybe my pronunciation is bad. I want to speak clearly. I want people to understand me without difficulty. I want to feel confident every time I open my mouth. But I don't know how to improve. I hope today the teacher will talk about this. At school, I sit next to the same classmates. We greet each other with smiles and soft good mornings. When the teacher enters, she seems cheerful. She asks, "Does anyone have a question today?" A boy from South Korea slowly raises his hand. He usually doesn't speak much in class. He's quiet and shy. But today he speaks. His voice is soft but clear enough. He says, "I have a problem with pronunciation. I want to speak better, but I feel shy. I know many words. I can understand English, but I don't want to speak because my pronunciation is not good. I feel bad about it." The room becomes silent. We all listen carefully. I feel exactly what he feels. His words feel like mine. I look at the teacher waiting for her answer. She gives him a warm smile and says, "Thank you for being honest." Many students feel the same way. Pronunciation is hard for many people. But here's the good news: it can be improved. And the way is simple. She walks to the board and writes one big word in capital letters, shadowing. Then she turns around and says, "This is one of the best ways to improve your pronunciation. It's easy, it's free, and it really works." Now she has everyone's attention. She continues explaining. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence in English and then repeat it right away. You speak just like a shadow follows your body. You don't just copy the words, you copy the way the speaker says them, the rhythm, the melody, the pauses. It helps your mouth and brain learn together. She goes on. When you speak English, your mouth often moves like it does in your native language. That's why your pronunciation sounds different. But shadowing helps train your mouth to move more like a native speaker's. It feels strange at first. You may even feel your mouth getting tired after a few minutes. That's a good sign. It means your muscles are working in a new way. I start to understand. I think about playing football. I train my body. Maybe pronunciation is the same. It's about training, not about being perfect right away. The teacher says start with something easy. Pick a short video or audio clip you understand. Play one sentence, pause, say the sentence, then play the next one. Keep repeating this for 5 minutes a day. Your pronunciation will improve. Not all at once, but step by step. She looks at the Korean student again and says kindly, "You are not alone. So many people feel shy about their voice. But your voice matters. Your voice is beautiful. It just needs a little practice. The world wants to hear it." After class, I wait for a moment and walk up to the teacher. I say, "I want to try shadowing. Can you help me find something to start with?" She smiles. "Of course," she says. "Look for short interviews with subtitles, or listen to simple children's stories in English. They're slow and clear. They're great for shadowing." I thank her and head to the library. I find a short video of a man talking about his dog. He speaks slowly and clearly. I play it. He says, "This is my dog. His name is Max." I pause the video and repeat the sentence. "This is my dog. His name is Max." Then I play the next line and do the same. I do this for 10 minutes. At first, my voice sounds strange. I feel unsure. But soon I start enjoying it. It feels like practicing a song. It feels fun. Later that evening, I go to football training. I've joined the school's team. There are players from Brazil, Japan, Italy, and Russia. We all speak in English. Our words are simple, but they work. We laugh, we run, we miss goals, we cheer. We say things like pass and nice shot. Here I don't feel shy. I don't worry about making mistakes. We all use small words, but we understand each other. It's a beautiful feeling. I speak more and feel free. As I walk home with a smile, I think about the Korean boy's question about the shadowing method and about my football team. I realize something important speaking well is not about being perfect. It's about being brave. That night, I open my notebook and write to speak. Better, listen and repeat native speakers every day. Keep going. Don't stop. Chapter 7. Monica returns. It's Thursday again. One whole week has passed since my first day at school. Every single day, I've learned something new. Every day I speak more English. I feel stronger. I feel more open. I feel alive. But today, something feels different as soon as I walk into the classroom. There's a new student sitting in the front row. She smiles warmly at everyone. Then the teacher walks in, sees her, and her face lights up. She says with joy, "Monica, welcome back." The whole class turns to look at the smiling girl. She stands up and gives the teacher a hug. The teacher explains Monica was my student last year. She only studied with me for 2 weeks. At that time, she was a complete beginner. But now, just listen. Then she turns to Monica and asks, "How are you?" Monica replies with a gentle and confident voice, "I am very well, thank you. I'm happy to be here again. I missed your class. Her English is clear and smooth. Everyone in class is surprised. We can all hear how fluent she sounds." The teacher smiles proudly and says, "Wow, Monica, your English is amazing now. You speak so well. Where did you study, Monica?" Smiles and answers, "At home. I didn't go to any school. I just used what you taught us. I read simple books. I did shadowing every day. And I also used a new habit you shared with us, thinking aloud." I hear this new phrase, thinking aloud, and feel curious. I don't know what it means. I've never heard it before. Our teacher laughs and says, "You remembered that yes, thinking aloud is a powerful technique, but you must use it often for it to work." I raise my hand. "Sorry, what is thinking aloud?" I ask. The teacher smiles and says, "That is a great question. Thank you, Ariel. Let me explain." She walks over to the board and writes, "Thinking aloud." She's saying your thoughts in English. Then she looks at us and says, "All day, your brain is full of thoughts in your own language. But what if all those thoughts were in English instead?" That's what thinking aloud helps you do. And when you speak those thoughts out loud, you're practicing even more. You don't need a partner. You just speak to yourself. It sounds a little strange to me. Talk to myself, like talking to someone who's not there. But I want to improve. I say I want to try. I don't care if it feels silly. The teacher laughs kindly. "Yes, Ariel. It might feel funny at first, but it really works." Then she turns to Monica and asks, "Would you like to tell the class how you use this method?" Monica nods. She begins to share. "When I went back to Italy after your class, I was still a beginner. I wanted to speak English, but I didn't have a partner. So I started thinking in English. I said simple things out loud when I was alone, like, 'I want coffee. I need to wash my hands. The sky is blue.' I didn't translate from Italian. I just said what came to mind slowly every day." She continues, "At first it was difficult. My thoughts in Italian were fast, but my English thoughts were slow. Still, I didn't stop. I accepted the slowness. I repeated small sentences like, 'I can speak English. I want to be better. I don't know many words, but I can use them well. I can speak clearly. I can improve.' These little sentences became my daily friends. The room goes silent. Everyone listens. It feels like she's telling us a story, a real and beautiful one." Monica smiles and adds, "After some time, thinking in English felt natural. My English thoughts came first. And one day, I met a man from Australia while he was visiting Italy. I was able to talk to him without thinking in Italian. I just spoke. That's when I knew this method really works. I listen and feel so many emotions at once. I feel inspired. I feel hopeful. I feel ready. I want to try this too. I want to think in English. I want to feel what Monica felt. I want to speak with confidence just like her." I open my notebook and write, "Try thinking aloud. Say your thoughts in English. Don't wait for someone to talk to. Talk to yourself." After class, I walk home. On the way, I whisper to myself, "This is a nice street. I like this building. I'm going to my room. I will study later." My words are slow. They are simple, but they are mine. They are my own thoughts. In English, it feels strange, but also freeing. I'm using English outside the classroom. I'm making English a part of my daily life. That night I continue. I look at my water bottle and say, I'm drinking water. It's good for me. I smile at that sentence. It's not perfect, but it's real. It's alive. Chapter 8. The Power of Thinking Aloud. The next morning I wake up early. I lie in bed and stare at the ceiling. Monica's words from yesterday still echo in my mind. I can speak English. I want to be better. I don't know many words, but I can use them well. Those simple sentences are powerful. They stay with me like a soft song. I sit up, stretch, and quietly say to myself, "Good morning. I am awake now. I will go to school. I will speak English today." The words feel new and strange. I say them slowly. I hear my own voice in the quiet room. But I don't feel shy. There's no one here to judge me. It's just me and my thoughts. I remember what my teacher said. This is your free practice. You don't need a partner. You can speak to yourself. As I brush my teeth, I look at my reflection in the mirror. I try again. I'm brushing my teeth. The water is cold. I still feel sleepy. These are simple phrases, nothing special, but they are real. They are mine, my own thoughts, my own words, spoken in English. I try not to think in Spanish, but sometimes my mind slips back. My first thoughts come in my native language. I notice it and gently say, no. English now. It feels like I'm teaching my brain to take a new path. I keep going. While walking to school, I practice more. I look around and speak softly, almost in a whisper. The car is red. That shop sells fruit. I see a woman walking her dog. It feels a little silly, like I'm talking to invisible friends, but it also feels powerful. I am not just learning English anymore. I am living it. At school, the teacher enters the classroom with a smile. She asks, "Did anyone try thinking aloud?" I raise my hand quickly. Yes, I say. I tried this morning. It felt strange, but I liked it. She nods and smiles. Very good, Ariel. That's the spirit. Another student speaks. I tried too, she says, but I forgot a lot of words. The teacher replies gently, "That's okay. It's very normal. Don't stop. When you don't know a word, try another way. Describe what you want to say. That's how you grow." Then she says something that makes me pause. You don't need perfect English in your head. You need English that moves, that flows, that lives. Thinking aloud helps you find your voice in English. We do a small exercise in class. The teacher says, think of something you do every day. Say it step by step, speak it aloud. I think about making coffee in the morning. I say I open the kitchen door. I turn on the light. I fill the kettle. I wait. I make my coffee. I sit. I drink slowly. The sentences are short and simple, but they come clearly. The teacher says, "Good job, Ariel. See how much English you already have." You don't need grammar books for this. You just need your voice. Later that day, I walk to the cafe for work. On the way, I keep practicing. I am going to work. I will see Emma. I will make coffee. I will speak to customers. Saying these things out loud helps me feel more ready, more confident. At the cafe, I smile more than usual. I speak more clearly. My words feel smoother, like they're ready before I even think. Would you like sugar? I ask. Have a good day, I say. These small sentences don't feel hard anymore. They feel familiar. My tongue moves easily. I don't worry so much. I realize something important. This technique, thinking aloud, is helping me. And the best part? I don't need a book. I don't need a classroom. I don't need a teacher right beside me. All I need is myself, my voice, and a little time. I can do this anywhere. After work, I sit in the small park near the cafe. The sky is soft. The air is cool. I watch the world around me and quietly say, "This is a nice park." There are children playing. A man is reading a book. I hear birds singing. My words come slowly, but they feel natural. I smile to myself. My thoughts are not only in Spanish now, some are in English. I'm changing. I'm growing. I remember what Monica said. At first, the thoughts are slow, but later they become your real voice. I whisper to myself, maybe one day my English voice will be fast. Maybe one day I will speak without needing to think first. When I get back to my room, I take out my notebook and write, "Thinking aloud is a gift." It feels strange at first, but it works. It brings English closer. It makes me feel strong. Then I add more. I can speak. I am improving. I am not afraid. I make mistakes, but I learn. I make progress. These are more than just words on paper. They are like a quiet conversation with myself, a private message that says, "Keep going. You are doing well." A soft voice that cheers me on. Before going to sleep, I whisper in the dark, "Today was a good day. I learned. I spoke. I lived in English. I close my eyes and smile. I feel grateful. I know this is not the end of my journey. It is just the beginning of something very special." Chapter 9. Grammar Worries. It is Friday morning. The air feels calm, and so do I. After many days of learning, I feel more comfortable. Each day, I go to school. Each day, I speak a little more English. I make coffee at work. I talk to customers. I listen to people as they walk and chat on the street. I try to understand them. I think in English now. I even talk to myself in English when I'm walking or washing dishes or just looking out the window. My words are still simple. My grammar is far from perfect. But they are my words. I choose them. I live with them. And that makes me proud. But one thing still follows me like a shadow: grammar. That one word brings a heavy feeling. I never liked grammar, not even in Spanish. All the rules, the names, the confusing tenses, it felt like a puzzle with missing pieces. Now in English, it feels even harder. Sometimes when I want to say something, I stop. I freeze. I wonder, is this the correct sentence? Then I feel afraid, and instead of speaking, I stay quiet. That silence feels worse than a mistake. I begin to wonder, do I need to study grammar more? When I get to the classroom, I hear another student talking to the teacher. She says, "Teacher, when I speak, I don't know if my grammar is right. I want to speak correctly. What should I do?" I sit up straight. I listen carefully. That question is also my question. The teacher smiles gently and says, "That's a very good question. Many students worry about grammar. But let me ask you something first. Why do you want to learn English?" The student answers, "I want to speak with people." The teacher nods. Good. Then here is something important. If your goal is to speak, then you don't need to study grammar like in school. You need to use English. Grammar will come. Slowly. Naturally. We all look surprised. No grammar, really. She continues. Think about how you learned your first language. Did you study grammar books when you were 2 years old? No. You listened. You copied. You made mistakes. You heard corrections. Your brain learned from the people around you. And step by step, you spoke better. I sit quietly and think. I remember how I learned Spanish as a child. I didn't even know what grammar was. I listened to my parents. I played with friends. I talked. I made mistakes. And over time, my speaking improved. It happened slowly, but it worked. Maybe English can be like that too. The teacher says, when you read books, grammar is all around you. You see how sentences work. You notice how words connect. You may not know the grammar names, but your brain understands the patterns. This is the best way to learn. Real English. Living English. She adds, when you do shadowing, you copy good grammar without even thinking about it. When you think aloud, you practice creating real sentences. These are better than memorizing rules from a book because these are actions, not just study, not just theory. I nod. That makes sense to me. I pick up my pen and write in my notebook, read more, shadow more, think aloud. Grammar will come. A student raises his hand. But what if someone wants to pass an English exam, he asks. The teacher replies, that's a different story. Exams test rules. If your goal is to pass a test, then yes, you should study grammar directly. You can use grammar books, old exam papers, and special lessons. But remember, that's only for the test, not for real life. I feel calm as I listen. I don't want to pass an exam. I want to speak. I want to live in English. That is my real goal. After class, I walk to work. On the way, I speak softly to myself. Today is Friday. I will go to the cafe. I will make coffee. I will smile at people. My grammar is simple. My words are small. But I speak them without fear. I don't stop to ask, is this right? I just speak. At the cafe, I feel something different. I speak to Emma. I say I feel better now. My speaking is easier. She smiles. Yes, I can hear that. You are more relaxed now. I feel happy. I talk to customers without thinking so hard. I don't pause to check my grammar in my mind. I just talk. And most of the time, they understand me. That is what really matters. When my shift ends, I take a walk to a quiet place near the river. I sit on a bench, listen to the soft sounds of water, and breathe deeply. I say aloud, I am not perfect, but I am better. I don't need perfect grammar. I just need to share my thoughts. That is enough. I open my notebook and write one simple sentence, speak to be understood, not to be perfect. Next to it, I draw a small smiley face. I think about the boy I was before, the boy who was scared to speak on the train, the boy who only read lyrics in his room, afraid to say them out loud. That boy is still part of me. But now I'm also someone new. I am someone who speaks English in real conversations. Someone who uses English in the real world. Someone who grows with every sentence. I close my eyes and whisper quietly to myself, thank you. Chapter 10. Testing yourself. It is Saturday. There is no class today. I wake up later than usual and feel relaxed. But then a small question comes into my mind. How much English do I know now I don't know the answer? I speak more. I understand more. I feel more confident. But is that real improvement or just confidence? I want to know. Not for a grade, not for school, just for me. So I decide to test myself not with grammar exercises or exams, but with something simple and personal. I take a blank notebook, sit on my bed, and write a question on the first page. What do I do in a normal day? Then I begin to write my daily routine in English, waking up, brushing my teeth, going to school, learning, working at the cafe, talking to customers, walking home, eating dinner, and sleeping. I write slowly without worrying about mistakes. After 30 minutes, the page is full. The spelling isn't perfect. The grammar isn't perfect. But the words are mine, and I understand everything. I feel proud. Then I decide to test my listening. I open YouTube and search for a slow English story. I find one about a girl who moves to a new city. I close my eyes and listen. I understand almost every sentence. Not every word, but enough to follow the story. I remember when I first listened to English, I understood nothing. This is a big step. Later at the cafe, I try using new phrases. I ask, "Do you want milk with your tea?" And "Would you like to sit near the window?" These are small sentences, but before I was too afraid to say them. Now I try. One customer smiles and says, "Your English is getting better." I laugh and say, "Thank you. I'm practicing." It feels good. That is also a test. Real English, real people, real conversation. After work, I meet my school friend Luca from Italy. We decide to speak only English for 1 hour. No Italian, no Spanish. At first, we're shy. We speak slowly. But after 10 minutes, we relax. We talk about food, football dreams. We laugh. The hour passes quickly. I even forget we're speaking English. It feels natural. That is the best feeling in the world. When I get home, I write in my notebook. Today I tested myself, and I passed. Not because I was perfect, but because I tried, and I saw the results. I also write a note for the future test again next week. Speak more, listen more, write more, grow more. I understand something important now. You don't need a big exam to know your level. You can test yourself in small ways. Write a page, listen to a story, talk with a friend, speak to yourself. These are real tests. This is how you grow. Before going to bed, I look in the mirror and say, "I'm proud of you." I smile. I feel strong. I am no longer just learning English. I am using English to live. That is a big change, a beautiful one. Chapter 11. Handling Mistakes. It is Monday again. I go to class like always. The sun is shining, but one student looks worried. Her name is Hana, and she is from Japan. She usually listens carefully and pays attention, but today she is very quiet. Our teacher notices and gently asks, "Is everything okay?" Hana looks down and says softly, "I'm afraid to speak. I make many mistakes. I don't want to sound stupid." The room becomes silent. Everyone listens. I look at Hana, and I understand her completely. I feel the same way sometimes. Many of us do. We want to speak. We want to practice. But something inside holds us back. We think, what if people laugh? What if I use the wrong word? What if my sentence sounds strange? It feels like there's a wall inside our minds. The words want to come out, but fear stops them. Then our teacher speaks. Her voice is calm, but confident. She says, "Hana, mistakes are a natural part of learning. You cannot grow without them. You cannot speak well unless you speak badly first." We all focus on her words. She walks to the board and writes in big letters, "Mistakes shall progress." She turns to us and explains children fall when they are learning to walk. They fall, they cry, but they stand up again and again. One day they run. That is how learning works. Then she shares a story. She says, "When I was learning French, I once told a waiter that I wanted to kiss the food instead of eat it." We all laugh. She laughs too. "I never forgot the right word after that," she says. Even Hana smiles. The room feels lighter. The teacher looks at us and says something important. The real mistake is silence, not speaking at all. If you speak, and make a mistake, that is good. That means you are trying. That means you are learning. Don't fear mistakes. Welcome them. I write those words in my notebook. Don't fear mistakes. Welcome them. After class, I think about my own fears. I remember last week when I forgot a word while talking to a customer. I just smiled and froze. I didn't know what to say. It felt terrible. But now I see it differently. Maybe it wasn't a bad moment. Maybe it was a chance to grow. If I had just spoken, even with mistakes, I could have learned something faster. So I make a decision. From now on, I will welcome mistakes. I will speak even when I'm not sure. I will ask questions. I will laugh at myself. I will keep going. Because now I understand something. People don't laugh because you're wrong. They laugh kindly. They laugh because they know how hard it is. That evening at work, a customer asks me, "What is the soup of the day?" I forget the word for tomato. So I say, "It's the red round vegetable soup." The man laughs and says, "Ah, tomato perfect. I'll take that." I laugh too. "Yes, tomato," I say. It feels great. It's not perfect English, but it's real. It's honest. And it works. Later, I tell Emma what happened. She says, "You're brave. Most people stay quiet, but you speak." That's strong. Her words warm my heart. I feel proud, not because I said everything right, but because I didn't give up. I faced the mistake. I kept going. That night, I think about Hannah again. I wonder if she will speak more tomorrow. I believe she will. Because today something changed for all of us. We saw that mistakes are not monsters. They are teachers. They show us what we don't know so we can learn. Before sleeping, I talk to myself in English. I make small mistakes. I smile. I keep going. I whisper to myself, mistakes are my friends. They help me grow. Chapter 12, Memory Problems. It is Tuesday morning. I sit in the classroom feeling ready to learn. I open my notebook and look at the words I wrote yesterday. But something feels wrong. I don't remember them. I read the words again, but they seem strange and unfamiliar. I feel confused. Why is it so difficult to remember new vocabulary? I write the words, I read them, I even say them out loud. But then the next day, they're gone. I feel disappointed. Maybe I'm not good at learning. Maybe my brain is too slow. I glance around the room and wonder if other students feel the same way. Then I notice Ahmed. He looks frustrated too. He puts down his pen and quietly says to himself, "Why do I forget everything?" Our teacher hears him. She stops writing on the board and turns around with a warm smile. She says, "Let's talk about memory." She begins. Many students think they are bad at remembering words, but it's not your fault. Your brain works normally. The real problem is that you don't yet understand how memory works. Today, I'm going to teach you the 5 phases of remembering. We all sit up interested. She writes on the board. See it, understand it, use it, repeat it, sleep on it. Then she explains each part one by one. First, see it, she says. When you first notice a new word, your brain sees it like a stranger in a crowd. Just seeing it once is not enough to remember. You need more exposure. She draws a small stick figure on the board to show us. We smile. Second, understand it. Ask yourself, what does the word mean? How is it used in real life? Try reading it in a sentence. Make your own sentence. This helps your brain give the word a home. That makes sense to me. I nod along. Third, use it. She continues. Use the word in your writing or when you speak. That's how your brain says, "Hey, this is important." When you use it, the word moves into a stronger parts of your memory. Fourth, repeat it. She smiles. Not just today, not just tomorrow, but again and again. A quick review every now and then helps. Look at the word, say it out loud, use it when you can. Then comes the fifth and final phase, and everyone laughs a little. Sleep on it. She says, yes, really sleep. When you sleep, your brain organizes what you've learned. It moves important words into long-term memory. So don't just study more, sleep well too. I feel a wave of relief. My chest feels lighter. I realize I'm not bad at remembering. I just didn't follow the right steps. But now I know what to do. Ahmed smiles too and says, this is helpful. Thank you, teacher. After the lesson, I decide to try it. I choose 5 new words and write them down. I look up their meanings and make example sentences. Later, I ask Emma to use those words with me in a short conversation. That night before sleeping, I read the 5 words again. Then, I close the notebook and go to sleep. The next morning, I wake up and test myself. I say the 5 words out loud. I remember 3 clearly. The other 2 are still a little weak. But that's okay. I go back to step 1 and step 2 for those words. I feel calm. I feel confident. I'm not lost anymore. I have a map to follow. Later that day at the cafe, I meet an elderly woman. She's kind. I serve her coffee, and I use one of the new words in a sentence. She smiles and says, "That's a lovely word." I smile back proud. I remembered it. It's now part of me, like a small seed growing in my mind. Before going to sleep, I write in my notebook. To remember more, follow the 5 steps. Be kind to your brain. It is learning. Chapter 13. How to listen better. It is Wednesday morning. I sit quietly in the classroom waiting for the lesson to begin. I feel calm today. Yesterday, I was able to remember more words than usual, and that small success gives me hope. When the teacher enters the room, she's holding something in her hand, a small radio. She holds it up with a smile and says, "Today, we are going to learn about listening." Some students shift in their seats. I notice a few look worried. One of them says, "Listening is too fast for me." Another adds, "I understand nothing when people speak English. I understand them." I feel the same way sometimes. When people talk quickly in English, my brain seems to freeze. I catch 1 or 2 words, but the rest slips away like water falling too fast for me to catch it. But then the teacher says something interesting. Listening is not studying, it's living. And if you learn the right way, you can enjoy it. Enjoy it. That surprises me. I've always thought of listening as something hard, something I need to fight with. I used to write every word, pause every second, rewind, and try again, but it never felt relaxing. Then the teacher turns on the radio. A soft English voice begins to speak. It's a story slow and clear. We are told not to write anything, not to take notes, just to listen. So I close my eyes. The voice tells a story about a boy and a boat. I don't understand every single word, but I feel the meaning. I can imagine the boy see the boat and feel the gentle water. It feels like watching a movie in my head. I am calm. After 5 minutes, the teacher turns off the radio and says, "You don't need to understand every word. You only need to feel the sound. Listen like music. Let it touch you. Don't fight it." Then she introduces 3 tools to help us become better listeners. Tool 1. Easy input. Start with slow English, she says. Listen to simple stories. Try children's books or English made for learners. Don't begin with fast news or difficult podcasts. Start with soft English, like a gentle river. Tool 2. Repeat often. Listen to the same thing many times, she explains. Each time, your brain will hear more and more. It will start to recognize patterns. That's how babies learn their first language, and you can do the same. Tool 3. Don't pause. Don't rewind. Let the audio play. Even if you miss something, keep going. Don't stop. Let your brain swim in the sound. Trust that it's working even when you don't feel it. I write the 3 tools in my notebook. Easy input. Repeat often. No pausing. Then the teacher adds something that feels powerful. You don't learn to listen by trying harder. You learn by relaxing more. After class, I walk to the library. I find a shelf labeled Easy English Audiobooks. I pick one and borrow a CD player. Sitting by the window, I press play. A kind English voice begins a story about a dog named Max. The words are simple, but I like the rhythm. I listen to the story twice, and I smile. That evening, I tell Emma about the listening lesson. She nods and says I do that too. I watch English cartoons. They help me understand more. Later, we sit together in the lounge and watch one. The characters speak slowly and clearly. We laugh at the funny scenes. And to my surprise, I understand more than I thought I could. The next morning, while walking to school, I listen to the dog story again. I let the audio play without stopping. Words like bark bone and happy jump out at me. I say them softly under my breath. My brain feels light. There's no pressure, no stress, just sound and rhythm, just fun. Later that week, something small but special happens. A customer at the cafe says the weather's lovely today. And for the first time, I don't panic. I hear him clearly, and I reply with ease. Yes, it's very sunny. It happens quickly, but I understand. And I feel something amazing. I feel ready. Now listening is part of my everyday life. I play English stories in the background while I cook. I listen to audiobooks before going to sleep. I don't understand everything, but that's okay. I've learned something important. My ears are learning even when my mind is quiet. Before bed, I open my notebook and write, listening is not study. It is connection. It is music. Let it flow. Chapter 14. Real motivation. It is a rainy Friday in London. The sky is gray and heavy. People rush down the streets with umbrellas trying to stay dry. I walk slowly to school. My feet move forward, but my mind feels tired. There's a quiet weight inside me. Lately, work at the cafe has been hard. My English is improving, yes, but some days I still feel stuck. I wish I could speak as fast as a native speaker. I wish I could remember every word I learn. But today, I just feel slow. A little lost. I sit down in the classroom still feeling unsure. My head is full of questions. Why am I doing this? Why am I still here? The teacher enters with her usual big smile. She writes something on the board. Your reason is your fuel. Then she says, today, we're going to talk about motivation. Why do you want to learn English? No one speaks at first. We sit quietly, unsure of how to answer. But then she continues looking at each of us one by one. Let's go around the room. I want each of you to share your reason. Be honest. Speak from your heart. She points to Ahmed. He straightens up and says, I want to get a good job. In my country, English opens doors. We nod. That makes sense. Emma goes next. Her voice is bright. I want to travel alone. I want to speak to people, ask for help, make friends. I want to feel free. Her eyes shine as she speaks. Monica adds, I love English movies. I want to watch them without subtitles. I want to feel the emotion in every line. Even the quiet student from Korea speaks. I want to talk to my cousin in Canada. He doesn't speak Korean well. I want to connect with him in English. Then it's my turn. I pause. I look out the window. The rain is soft now, falling like a slow song. My heart beats a little faster. I want to sing the Beatles. I say quietly. I want to understand their songs. When I was little, my father played them every Sunday morning. I didn't know the words, but I felt something. The music stayed with me. I promised myself one day I'll sing those songs and understand every word. The room goes still. The teacher looks at me with warmth in her eyes. That she says is real motivation. That's your story. And stories are what carry us when the road gets hard. Her words wrap around me like a soft blanket. I remember the old radio in our kitchen, the gentle sound of Let It Be playing on a Sunday morning. I remember singing yesterday without knowing what it meant, but the feeling it was always there. Now I can look at those same lyrics and understand most of the words. Not all, but more than before. That's progress. After class, I go home. I take out my phone and search the Beatles. Hey Jude with lyrics. I sit on my bed and play the song. The words appear on the screen one by one. I listen. I read. I smile. I sing softly. And this time, I understand. The meaning touches something deep inside me. The music feels more alive than ever. That evening, I meet Emma for tea. I tell her about the lesson. She nods. It's true, she says. When we remember our reason, we feel strong again. I ask, what do you do when you feel tired? She replies, I watch my favorite English show. Or I listen to a song that reminds me why I started. That night, I take out a small notebook. On the first page, I write one sentence I learned English to sing from the soul. I underline the words. That's it. That's my reason. That's my light. Some days will be hard. That's okay. But my reason will carry me through. It will lift me up when I feel low. It will remind me who I am and why I began this journey. Whatever your reason is, whether it's a book, a person, a job, or a dream, hold it close. Let it guide you. Let it speak. Because inside every learner there is a voice that whispers, keep going. Your dream is waiting. Chapter 15, 3,000 words. The lesson begins like any other day. But this time, something different happens. One student raises her hand and asks a thoughtful question. Teacher, how many words do I need to speak English well? The teacher pauses, thinking. Then she walks to the board and writes a number 3,000 wains. We all stare at the number. It feels big, a little scary. The same student asks again. So, should we memorize 3,000 words? The teacher smiles warmly and shakes her head. No, she says. Don't memorize them. That's not how language really works. She begins to tell us a story. There was once a student who made a list of 3,000 words. He studied 10 new words every day. He was very serious. After 1 year, he had learned almost all the words on the list. But when he spoke, his sentences were slow. He forgot many words while talking. And when he listened to fast English, he didn't understand much. Why? Because he never used the words in real life. She pauses to let the story sink in, then adds, words are like people. You don't truly know someone after just one meeting. You know them after seeing them again and again in different places and situations. That's how it works with vocabulary too. I nod slowly. I understand her now. I remember when I first started learning. I used apps. I copied lists into my notebook. I memorized word after word. But when I tried to talk to someone, the words disappeared. They were gone. My mind went blank. I felt embarrassed. The teacher continues, don't chase 3,000 words. Let them come to you naturally. Meet them in stories. Hear them in real conversations. Notice them in songs, in TV shows, in daily life. When your brain sees the same word again and again in different places, it starts to remember. You don't even have to try too hard. It becomes part of you. She explains that if we read and listen every day, the most common 3,000 words in English will appear many times. We'll see them again and again, and they will stay with us. Then she opens a small book. She reads a short paragraph out loud. We all listen carefully. Most of the words are familiar. A few are new. But the teacher doesn't explain anything. She just reads the paragraph again. And this time I understand more. My brain is working quietly in the background. No stress, no pressure, just understanding, just feeling. She looks at us and says, language is not about force. It's about feeling. Read a little, listen a little, every day. Don't worry about the number. Just stay connected to English. After school, I walk to the library. I choose a short English storybook. I sit down and read 3 pages. I notice some words again quietly. Window, wait, smile. I don't look them up in a dictionary. I can feel their meaning through the story. It feels easy. It feels real. On the bus ride home, I think more about the number 3,000. Suddenly, I realize something important. I already know many words. Maybe 500. Maybe 1,000. And I'm learning more each day, not by memorizing, but by living with English. That evening at work, a customer walks up and asks, "Can I get a sandwich without onions?" I understand every word. I smile and say, "Of course." Then I write no onions on the order slip. I feel proud. 2 more words onions, and without that, I didn't learn from a list. But now I truly know them. Later that night, I listen again to one of my favorite Beatles songs. This time, a line stands out more clearly than ever. Take a sad song and make it better. I feel something strong inside me. These aren't just words. They are words with meaning, with emotion. And words like that, they stay. I take out my notebook. I write 1 sentence in big letters. Don't study words. Live with them. Let them find you. And this time I believe it. Chapter 16. A Scottish accent. It's a busy morning at the cafe. I put on my apron and take a deep breath. I feel ready. My English has improved. I understand customers better. I speak with more confidence. I take orders, smile, and make small talk. I even enjoy the job now. But today, something strange happens. A man walks in and comes to the counter. He smiles and says something to me. I hear the words, but I don't understand. His voice is fast. The words sound strange. It's English, but it feels like a different language. My heart beats faster. I say, "Sorry, can you repeat that, please?" He repeats it, but I only catch 2 words, toast and tea. I guess, would you like toast and tea? He laughs and nods. Then he says something else, and again, I don't understand. I feel confused. I feel like a beginner again. After he leaves, I ask my manager, where is he from? She says, oh, he's Scottish. That's a Scottish accent. It can be hard to understand even for native speakers. I feel surprised. I thought I knew English, but now I feel unsure again. That evening, I tell my teacher what happened. She smiles and says, yes, accents are part of real English. There are many accents in the UK, Scottish, Irish, Northern London, and even more around the world, like American and Australian. It's normal to feel confused at first. She tells us about her own experience. When I visited America, I couldn't understand people in Texas. Their accent was strong. But with time, I got used to it. You will too. She plays a short video of a man from Scotland ordering food. I listen. It's still fast, but I understand more this time. The teacher says, don't worry if you don't understand at first. The key is listening more. Your ear will get stronger. At home, I feel better. I go on YouTube and search Scottish English for beginners. I find a video with subtitles and listen several times. I repeat the words slowly. It feels like learning a new song, new rhythm, new sounds. The next day, the same Scottish man returns. He smiles and says, "Morning." Just the usual please. This time I understand him. I say toast and tea. He laughs. You remember? I smile. It's a small win, but it feels big. Later I think about accents. I realize English isn't just one voice. It has many voices, many ways of speaking, and that's beautiful. I want to understand them all. I want to travel. I want to listen to different people and connect with them. I open my notebook and write, "Understanding English accents takes time. Be patient. Keep listening. Don't give up." Chapter 17. What's your level? It's a rainy day in London. The classroom feels quiet, a little sleepy. Our teacher walks in and writes one word on the board level. Then she looks at us and asks, "What is your level of English?" We glance at one another. No one says anything at first. Finally, one student answers, "Maybe, intermediate." Another says, "I think, beginner." I sit there unsure. I speak English, I read, I write, I listen. But what does that really mean? The teacher smiles and says, "English levels are not magic. They're just a way to describe how many words you know and how well you use them." Let me show you something. She draws 3 circles on the board. In the first one, she writes 500 words, beginner. In the second, 1,500, 2,000 words, low, intermediate. And in the third, 3,000 plus words, low, upper, intermediate to advanced. Then she turns back to us and says, "If you can read this sentence, understand it, and reply with your own words, then you already have more than 1,500 words." I sit quietly and think. A year ago, I couldn't say much. I didn't know many words. I couldn't watch a movie in English or order coffee without feeling nervous. But now, I go to school in English. I work in English. Sometimes I even dream in English. Somehow, I've changed. And I didn't even notice it while it was happening. The teacher continues. We usually grow in silence. You may not see it every day, but your brain is building a strong system for English word by word, day by day. Sometimes you feel stuck. Then suddenly you understand a joke or sing along with a song. That is growth. Then she gives us a task. Write down the last 5 new words you learned. I write accent confident, usual translate softly. She asks, "Did you study those words from a list?" I shake my head. "Did you find them in real life?" I nod. She smiles and says, "Then you are learning at the highest level." I feel a warm feeling in my chest. Maybe I'm not a beginner anymore. Maybe I'm somewhere in the middle, not at the start, not at the top, but moving forward. That thought gives me hope. After class, I walk through the city. I read signs in English. I hear people talking on the street. I understand more than before. Even when people speak quickly, I can guess the meaning. I don't panic anymore. I listen. I feel. I respond. I still make mistakes, but I keep going. Later that night, I open my notebook and write, "What is my level?" I don't know exactly, but I'm growing, and for now, that is enough. I listen to a podcast before bed. They use new words, but I understand most of it around 80%. That used to be impossible for me. Now it feels easy, like breathing. I smile and send a message to my teacher. "Thank you for showing me that I'm not stuck. I'm moving." A few minutes later, she replies, "You always were." Chapter 18. The Shy Student. It's the start of a new week at school. The classroom feels warm and calm. Our teacher enters with her usual gentle smile and says, "Let's begin with something easy. Everyone will share one thing they did this weekend." I glance around the room. One girl sits very still. Her hands are hidden under the table. Her eyes stay low, never meeting anyone's. Her name is Hannah. She joined our class just last week. She always listens carefully, but we haven't heard her speak yet. Today it's her turn. The teacher looks at her kindly and asks Hannah, "What about you?" The room falls into silence. Everyone waits. Hannah opens her mouth, but no sound comes out. I feel her fear. I remember how that felt. My palms would sweat. My heart would pound. I used to feel frozen just like she is now. The teacher waits patiently, her face soft with kindness. Then she says, "It's okay. You can say just one word if you want, or show us with your hands." Slowly, in a quiet voice, Hannah says, "Park." The teacher's face lights up with a smile. "You went to the park?" she asks. Hannah nods shyly. "That's wonderful. Did you go alone?" Hannah shakes her head. "With sister." The teacher claps her hands softly. "Beautiful. You made a full sentence. You used the words you have. That is the secret of speaking." The class grows quiet, not from boredom, but from something deeper respect. We all feel it. Something important is happening. The teacher looks at us and says, "So many of us wait for perfect English, but perfect never comes." You don't need all the words, just the right ones to share your idea. That's real communication. Then she teaches us something very useful. If you don't know a word, don't stop. Describe it. Go around it. Use other words. Use your hands. Use your face. Use everything you've got. She gives an example. If I forget the word umbrella, I can say, "It's something you hold when it rains. It keeps you dry." And people will understand me. We all try. I forget the word pillow, so I say it's soft. I use it under my head. When I sleep. The teacher nods and smiles. "Yes, that's it. That's real English." Hannah joins in too. She doesn't remember the word cake, so she says, "Sweet birthday. Eat." We all smile. We get it. She smiles back, a small smile, but true. I feel something warm in my chest. I feel proud of her. After class, I walk beside Hannah. I say, "You did great today." She looks down at first, then meets my eyes and replies, "Scary, but okay." I nod. I used to be scared too, in the beginning. She says, "You speak good now." I laugh and say I practice every day. You will too. That night I write in my journal, "If you don't know a word, describe what it does, how it looks, or how it feels." That's how you keep speaking. Then I add another thought. Shy people can learn to speak. One word at a time. One small, brave step at a time. The next day, something amazing happens. Hannah raises her hand first. She wants to speak again. Her words are still few, but they are hers. And this time, she speaks with just a bit more strength. We all listen quietly. No one laughs. We all support her. And I realize something powerful. This class isn't only about learning English. It's about helping one another grow. Chapter 19, The Final Lesson. It is the last day of school. Sunlight shines softly through the window, warming the quiet classroom. The room feels peaceful, like the gentle end of a beautiful dream. Our teacher stands in front of us. Her face is calm, but her eyes are full of feeling. She says, "Today, we are saying goodbye, but not to English. We are saying goodbye to fear, goodbye to confusion, goodbye to silence. You are no longer the same students you once were." My heart beats slowly. I look around and see the faces I've come to know. Some classmates smile. Others wipe away quiet tears. I feel something deep in my chest. 1 year ago, I was scared to open my mouth. I didn't know the right words. I was shy and unsure. I felt lost in a sea of language. But now everything has changed. I speak in English every day. I work in English. I think and feel in English. My voice is stronger. My confidence has grown. Our teacher asks gently, "Would anyone like to share something before we finish?" I raise my hand. She nods, and I slowly stand up. My voice is calm, but full of meaning. 1 year ago, I came here as a beginner, I say. I didn't know many words. I didn't speak much. But this class helped me. All of you helped me. You taught me how to learn not just grammar or vocabulary, but confidence. Not just English, but courage and life. The room becomes still. Everyone listens closely. Some people smile. Some are holding back tears. I continue speaking my heart full. Now I work in a cafe. I talk to customers. I help them. I play football with people from different countries. I make mistakes, but I keep going. I read books. I listen to stories. I shadow native speakers. I speak every chance I get. And something special happened last week. I pause for a moment. A new student from Turkey came to our class. He didn't know how to ask for help in English, so I helped him. Slowly, using simple words, the same way my teacher helped me. When he understood, he smiled and said, "Thank you." And at that moment, I felt something amazing. Just for a second, I was the teacher. The teacher begins to clap. The class joins her. I sit down and my eyes fill with tears, but I smile. After class ends, I walk through the same streets I walked 1 year ago when I first arrived in London. The shops look the same. The buses are still there. But I am different. Later that day, I go to work. A young girl walks into the cafe. She looks nervous and unsure. She speaks slowly. "I want coffee, please." I smile kindly and reply slowly, "Good job. Don't worry, I understand you." She nods with a shy smile, and in her eyes I see myself, who I used to be. That night, I sit outside and look up at the moon. I wonder, maybe one day I can become a real teacher. Not just someone who teaches English, but someone who gives others hope. 1 year passes. Now I teach English in my home country. Not in a big school, but in a small classroom. I teach beginners. I teach shy people. I teach those who say I can't. And I tell them, yes, you can. I share my story with them. I tell them about the women on the train. I tell them about my first teacher in London. I tell them about learning slowly, about the games of football with international friends, about my job at the cafe, about shadowing English voices, about reading stories about Hannah and her small, brave steps. And I tell them about the day when English stopped being scary. They listen, and they believe. Because I was once just like them, and now they are like I was. Because English is more than just a subject. It is more than grammar or tests. It is a key that opens a door. I walked through that door, and they can too. If Ariel's journey has touched your heart, and you also dream of speaking English confidently one day, start now. Begin with just one word, one sentence, every day, step by step. Don't wait. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, and leave a comment below. Tell us, do you also want to become the next Ariel? We read every comment, and we believe in your story too.